Howdy, howdy. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. And I know it's been a while. I'm excited to be back. I hope y'all enjoy today's video. If you do, just like, comment, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Let's get into it.
Artlist.io.
Why did every phone company eliminate removable batteries at the exact same time? That wasn't coincidence, that was coordination. They told us it was for design. Slimmer phones, water resistance, but those were just surface level excuses, because when you could take the battery out, you had real power. You could shut it all down, cut the signal, kill the tracking, stop the eavesdropping, gone, just like that. Now, press power, swipe off, hold the button, doesn't matter. The phone pretends to be off, but it's not. It still listens, still watches, alarms still work, updates still install while you sleep. Airplane mode? Just a feel-good toggle. And here's what no one wants to say out loud. Every major brand, every flagship model, switched at once. No choice, no alternative. Because the system needed you to carry it, willingly, everywhere. It became the perfect surveillance tool, not forced into your life, but invited in. It tracks, it listens, it maps your every move.
So that was really Joe Rogan or not. I mean, we got to just look at it, that it is true. I mean, you can't find a newer phone or a new phone that you can actually take the battery out of, remove. No, it's all one assembly. So even if a person wanted to, in theory, be able to dislocate anything on their, or dislocate, they wanted to disconnect anything on their phone, they wouldn't be able to. There's no taking the battery out. There's none of that. So do with that information what you will. I think there is truth to it. I mean, it's plainly out there. It was all really rolled out at the same time.
I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but have you ever actually seen them build new cemeteries? Think about it. Billions of people have lived and go, yet cemeteries never seem to run out of space. Why is that? You'd expect the world to be drowning in graves, every city buried under endless tombstones, but no, somehow it never happens. Cemeteries just stay the same. So here's the question, where are all the bodies? Are they really all still there, or do they quietly remove them after a certain time? Some say graves are reused, others whisper about mass relocation projects where bodies are taken out, moved, or even destroyed without anyone knowing. And then there's the darker idea that not everyone is buried where we think they are. Some are taken for science, some for industries you wouldn't want to know about, and some, maybe, vanish into systems we aren't allowed to understand. If billions have gone, the earth should be overflowing with bones, but cemeteries remain neat, orderly, never too full. That's not nature, that's management. Quiet, controlled, hidden management. This is just a theory, not a fact.
Now, after I saw this one, I'm not going to lie, really got my gears turning just thinking about it. I mean, anybody, if you've ever seen a new cemetery, or a cemetery being newly constructed, or a area where they're expanding, please let me know, because I haven't ever seen it. And this really did make me think, like, okay, do they do this? Is it, because after they're, buried, that dirt's still fresh, nothing, the grass doesn't start growing back for a while. So if there is any truth, I mean, they could do something like this, and especially when nobody's around.
I'm telling y'all, they always hide the truth in plain sight.
Sure is.
Make a deal with me, kid. You can have the car and everything that goes along with it. So what do you say?
Two things. That's a Freemason sign ring. And, wait a minute, that's obviously the devil.
Now, I'm not going to lie, after seeing this, I mean, they really don't hide it anymore. It's out there. They're, letting everybody know, and a lot of people still think, oh, it's just art, I'm like, okay, come on. Really, after so many times, you really think this is just art? I mean, they're just plainly telling you now. Years and years ago, it used to be something where it was more, subtle, or they weren't as flagrant with it. But now it's just like, they're letting the world know because, not long ago, I was watching a video where, and it's true. It was the facts were being talked about. We're in, that season where the devil knows he's going to lose, and he's trying to do everything he can. He's like, what have I got to lose? I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know I'm putting it out there. What more can I say and do? And people aren't going to wake up in time. Hope everybody does. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Let me know what y'all think.
I'm so confused right now, but I just went down a rabbit hole. Is there really people that believe that back in the day they switched the maps and that America is actually Israel and that Jerusalem is in Arkansas? At first I thought people weren't being serious, but then I look in comments and people really believe this and saying that Memphis is Egypt and Babylon. I never thought in a million years I'd hear the sentence, Jerusalem is in Arkansas, and that the people there are going to find enlightenment. And then trying to piece it together saying that the Mississippi River is really the Nile River and Arkansas can have any kind of tree, plant, and fruit and bear any animal and stuff. People get so obsessed about random conspiracies. Like, go focus on getting rent money. Go focus on eating healthy and exercising. Jerusalem is not in Arkansas. And if it was, what does that even do for you?
I mean, to each his own. People who choose to believe what they want to believe, that's on them at the end of the day. I mean, he obviously took the time to make the video to point out, a lot of what people think as far as the geological location, whether it's accurate or not, according to what today's map shows. I've seen videos where these people claim to have gone through the Grand Canyon to get over to America, but they didn't go by boat, didn't go by plane, or any other method. They have stated they simply walked through the Grand Canyon, got here. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. That's on, each person to decide whether they believe it or not. Let me know what y'all think.
Do you still believe these floods are just nature acting on its own? In several parts of the U.S., planes have been seen spraying the skies, and shortly after, sudden floods devastated entire cities. Coincidence? That technique has a name: cloud seeding. It was created in the 1940s and is still used to stimulate rainfall. But very few people know who decides when and where the rain falls. In Texas alone, over 50 cloud seeding authorizations were issued in recent years. And in 2024, a U.S. lawmaker filed a bill asking for more transparency around weather operations. The media still calls it a conspiracy theory, but public documents and expert testimonies suggest something else. Even government reports mention climate modification for military use. So the real question is, if they can influence the weather, what else are they capable of? How far does this power go? And why is it never debated? With each new disaster, more people start to question, are these natural events or the result of something much bigger? You decide. Comment your theory. Save this video and share it with someone who still thinks we're in control.
I'm pretty sure that was AI generated video, at least the man talking about it. But either way, cloud seeding, not a new thing. I mean, if people could look up most days, especially on a clear day, if it ain't happening yet, you'll end up eventually within, a matter of minutes, you'll start to see that plane and that little, white cloud coming out the back, that stream that's coming right out the back. And that's exactly what this video was talking about. That cloud seeding is real, and I've even been able to look up, as far as like hurricane modifications. Looked up, you can Google it. There is a patent for hurricane modifications. As if cloud seeding wasn't enough, being able to manipulate the patterns and characteristics of a hurricane is pretty crazy to me.
So it's almost mid-October, and nobody's talking about how the leaves on the trees are still green. Mostly, like, we're like 90% green still, and it's almost mid-October. We're supposed to be seeing reds, oranges, yellows, browns. The grass is supposed to be dying a little bit. No, it still look like summertime out this. Ain't nobody talking about this. Ain't nobody talking about this year, bro, and it happened every year. This year particularly, it's a little bit worse. Not saying I don't like the greenery, but who don't like fall colors? Every year it's been progressively getting worse, where the leaves aren't changing according to the actual season. If we are even in the actual season, I don't know. Some don't look right about this. Next time you go outside, look around. We supposed to be seeing fall colors. We not. It's still very much lush green.
I don't know about anybody else, out there that has, seen this, witnessed it for themselves. The seasons do, especially, the last few years, have been seeming unpredictable and not like the previous year. I will say, like, around even in my neighborhood, I have noticed, it's hit or miss, but you got, like, out my front yard, the trees, the leaves had, went brown, fell, and then I got, other people in the neighborhood where it was still, greener, looking more lively, and it didn't make any sense. So I don't know if there's something going on with the fertilization, maybe something that somebody's using that somebody's not, or if, it's just crazy, but let me know if anybody else has seen this out there. I don't know if that was, somebody messing with the effects of the video or not, but to me that looked like, like a glitch in the matrix. Kind of looked like, okay, why is only half the sky lighting up, and in different times. I'm from Florida. I lived in Florida for a very long time and experienced many thunderstorms. And anytime a lightning strike, it would end up, you could clearly see the bolt. And then a lot of times, especially if it was dark out, light up the whole sky, and if anybody else has seen thunderstorms, lightning storms, they know what I'm talking about. And that is not the normal behavior, the way the sky lights up, it's not just one half at a time.
Ha ha! They tried to slip one through the cracks, but I told them no diddy. Let's get it. According to Newsweek, Florida introduces bill to ban weather modification. Wait, but I thought that was a conspiracy. Never mind. I ain't even finna play dumb. Let's get into these receipts. Article says the bill was first filed on November 20th by Garcia, a Republican, not sure why that matters, who served in the Florida Senate since 2020. The Weather Modification Activities Bill sets out that the injection, release, dispersion, or any means of a chemical compound, a substance, or any apparatus into the atmosphere within the borders of this state for the express purpose of affecting the temperature, the weather, or the intensity of the sunlight is prohibited. Not no more, y'all. As per the bill, any individual or corporation that commits a weather modification violation will be charged a second-degree misdemeanor and charged up to $10,000. And each individual violation will count as a separate offense. It's not going to happen tomorrow, though. Looks like this bill won't pass until July of 2020. Let me know what y'all think about this one, though. Meet me in the comments.
I know it was an older video, but just for the fact that, it's something that published and that, the Senate was talking about, trying to ban weather modifications. And for that, just like with UFOs and aliens, for many years, trying to, keep that under wraps and not coming out, and that's another thing more recently that come out about. But as far as the weather modifications go, how are you going to end up trying to deny, and then all of a sudden, like, oh yeah, it's been a thing, it's been around. How long are they going to keep on thinking that the mass or a lot of people are stupid, and that, oh, they're just conspiracy theorists, or they wear tinfoil on their heads?
I'm in this alley and this random building, unnamed building, is just like rolling this, I don't know, barrel full of like brains or something. You see that like falling out? That's just tripping me out. He's like looking out to see if there's anyone watching. Oh.
To me, it did almost kind of look like brains, but I also thought maybe intestines. I don't know where that was at, but it looked like there were animals in the cages in the back. And to me, it's like, if you're doing your job, you're not doing anything wrong, why would you be needing to look around, and making sure that if somebody's watching you or if they're not? That didn't make, too much sense to me. Kind of seems suspicious. So I don't know what was in the barrels, but also the barrels weren't marked, so I'm pretty sure that if that was some sort of specific waste, they should have had some kind of labeling on the container. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Did you know that if a policeman gives you a ticket, cop pulls you over and gives you a ticket, that is called a ticket in commerce. And so if you go to buy something and you don't have the money and it's too expensive, you ask me to co-sign for you. Now if I co-sign for you to buy something and I co-sign on the ticket, that means if you don't pay it, I have to, right? Therefore, when the cop gives you a ticket, he signs it first. It's called a ticket in commerce. Because money is going to change hands. Therefore, when you sign it, you are the co-signer of the ticket in commerce. Well, as a co-signer, you don't have to pay the ticket. You were just a co-signer, and you can decide, I don't think I want to pay that ticket. And then you send the ticket and the paperwork to the Secretary of State, and they then give it to the Attorney General. The Attorney General then sends it back to the cop, and the cop has to pay the ticket because he's the one that signed it first. You were just a co-signer. But as long as you don't understand this, people don't understand the way banks and commerce work.
And government.
And religion, and it's all one big show. And if you're not licensed to play in the show, like George Carlin used to say, it's a big club and you ain't in it.
The truth is hidden in plain sight, and this is how they hide everything. If you are looking for the knowledge that has been hidden from us, if you want to know the meaning behind these symbols, if you want to know who controls the world, this ebook will literally unveil that to you, and ye shall know the truth, and truth shall set you free.
Now, that is something else that, even if it were to be true, I'm not saying that it's not, but just like where if you do your own research as far as, having to pay taxes, if that's a law or not, that's the thing, powers that be. You're going to have to, even if you don't agree with it, even if there isn't anything legally backing it up, they still have their ways that they're going to end up coming down on you and end up making sure that you fall in line and do what you're supposed to do. So with that, let's say you don't pay the ticket. It's probably going to end up being where that fine or that fee ends up gradually increasing and increasing and increasing. And then, lo and behold, maybe, with the aid of, some sort of legal counsel, might be able to get out. I don't know. I haven't really dug into that to see the validity of the information. But if anybody else knows, comment down below. Let us all know if, this is something that they've gotten into and if you were able to get out of it through this method.
Believe in any conspiracy theory? You just think the government's just batting 1,000 and telling us the whole truth? That's a strong stance to take. Our government is placed in charge of all of its people. I'm a father who's been placed in charge of just one son. And I lied it time.
Now, if that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, I don't know what will. I mean, that was a very good comparison, especially anybody who has kids out there watching this. You will totally understand and look at, okay, how many times have they lied to us? They keep on lying to us, of course. I mean, there's not going to be like they're always going to end up, not lying to us. I mean, this video, it made me chuckle, and it looked like that was part of, his stand-up. But a lot of times, we've come to find out, a lot of comedians tell the truth through a joke. And then people, oh, no, I just want to laugh it off. But while you're laughing, do laughing at something that is true.
Who do you think really runs the world?
You're going to go there, huh, with the question. So I used to ask the question, I said, who's got the most power in America? You'd be amazed how few people say president. Because they come and go. A famous quote with Putin that he says, American presidents, you don't have to worry about it. They're going to be there 4 to 8 years. Some suits run the country behind closed doors. Is it Congress? Is it the CEOs of virtual governments? We're talking Google, Twitter, Facebook, Amazon. Or is it billionaires? The most richest man in the world. Who's got the most power? So let's go process and dissect some of these guys that make all the money in the world. You become a billionaire and you're still dangerously ambitious. And you're like, well, I want more control. I want more power. What if I can take over the world? Think about what things people are most addicted to. Video games, partying. But what's one of the most addicting things? Power. Are you kidding me? Having a lot of power and getting people that look at you that are afraid of you. Some people love that. Those people, I believe, are out there. Some of them are 100% money people because money talks. There's a lot of those guys that are the brains behind the faces that we see. And most of the times, the best E.F. Huttons, no one ever finds out who those guys are.
Oh, there was actually, I think back in 2020, roughly give or take, it was a documentary that had came out on Netflix, and pretty interesting. Is I can't remember who the figure's name was. Wasn't anybody I've ever heard of nor had seen in the public eye, but it was more of like a behind the scenes kind of individual. Whenever he was just talking about the people that actually hold the power, we think, oh, it's these elected figures or these people, in high places. But really, it's the ones that you don't see, the ones in the shadows, behind the scenes, that are in control of most of what goes on in the world. Is one of the things that the documentary was talking about, and makes a whole lot of sense. What he was just talking about makes a whole lot of sense. They've always got to have a face, that ends up being the one shown to enforce, their new rulings or, laws to pass, bills, you name it. But that's the end of today's video. I hope that everyone enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment down below, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see y'all on the next one.
Artlist.io